Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about setting for our third lesson in our series about narrative stories. Today, first, we're going to talk about what a setting is. Then, we're going to think about some key questions that we should be asking ourselves about the setting. And then, lastly, we'll talk about some descriptive language that you can use to make a really strong setting. So first, what is a setting? There are two main questions that we want to answer about the setting of a story, and that is where the story happens in terms of the location and place, and also when the story happens in terms of period of time. After we get better at writing these parts and get really, really good at writing these two basic parts, we can also add on some more complex setting questions, such as what is the scenario that the character is in, or things like that that are slightly more complicated. But for now, just think about where and when the story happens. The setting is really, really important because it sets the baseline of the story. It lets the reader understand and know the world of your story before the events kick in. This is what we need to make super clear at the start before the rest of the story can continue. We also want to ask ourselves some key questions about settings. So, we want to think about where is your character? This is our location question. Are they at home, in a forest, at school, on a spaceship? And then we also want to think about what time it is. Is it morning, night, winter, the year 2050? And then we also want to think about what the place looks like. Is it white halls, clean walkways, bright, dark? Answering these questions can make the story feel mysterious or happy or jolly. It makes the readers feel what the world is like. Remember to use your senses when you're talking about the setting. What does it smell like? What does the temperature feel like? Is it hot or cold? What can you hear? Is there an air vent or air conditioning that's blowing? Can you hear the birds chirping? Can you taste anything? Maybe your character is tasting a really bad tasting piece of food, or maybe they're chewing mint gum. You want to use your senses to really describe what's happening. The more you describe, the more alive the setting feels, and the more the story feels like an actual event with actual people. Now we want to think about descriptive language too. In addition to sight, we want to think about, again, our senses. Sound, smell, touch, and taste. Is there music, traffic, or silence? Food, flowers, trash? Warm, rough, sticky? Salty, bitter, sweet, bland? These are all adjectives that can help your character and your readers understand the setting. Use adjectives and add lots of detail. For example, a quiet, sunny park with tall green trees is way better and way more vivid and alive than simply a park. So let's look at a weak versus a strong sentence. So a weak sentence is Sarah is at school. Okay, we know that Sarah is at school, well, we don't know anything else. We're confused. There are no details. Instead, we can write, Sarah sat at the back of a noisy classroom where the walls were covered in messy posters. The smell of pencil shavings and old books filled the air. Outside, the wind rattled the windows. See how in the second one, we have such a better picture and such a more clear environment that we can see? Everything just makes more sense and feels more alive when we add these details about setting. So thank you all for listening. Your homework assignment is on Google Classroom and it's called The Setting. I look forward to seeing your writing and